A very good afternoon to you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Reha Bomboi and it always is a big joy in my heart to have you join us and come and watch the content that we produce. And today we're here to discuss about a constitution amendment bill, the Punguza Mzigo bill that was proposed by the Third Way Alliance party leader, Dr. Ekuru Aukot, and maybe a brief history of where the bill has come from. A few days ago, the bill was petitioned against by David Kariuki and Timothy Othiambo, and they gave quite a number of reasons, but Justice John Mativo ruled out the bill and threw it out because the guys were missing in court in session, claiming they were in another court where they were debating about the same bill. But today we're here to discuss about this particular bill and understand what benefit is it to the Kenyans and what exactly is it about, because many people out there don't understand what the Punguza Mzigo bill is exactly about, keeping in mind that many bills have come up and we also have the building bridges, but today let us focus on the Punguza Mzigo bill. And I'm not alone. Kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Kofi Brian.
Yes, Kofi Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Okay. And we're here to discuss about this bill and maybe what exactly do you understand about the Punguza Mzigo bill?
I understand so many things about the Punguza
Mzigo bill. What exactly is it bringing to the Kenyans?
The Punguza Mzigo bill, just like what the Constitution provides, that maybe once someone feels that maybe the Constitution or some parts of the Constitution do not meet the requirements of the people, then any person is allowed to come up with a bill, a proposed bill, which might be discussed,
yes,
and therefore lead to the change of that particular part. So
yes,
the Punguza Mzigo bill is just one of those ideas that
yes,
Dr. Ekuru, of course, came up with,
yes,
so as to give people maybe a solution to some of the problems we have as a nation,
yes,
in the previous time since we promulgated this constitution back in 2010.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe I think this man is brave. He has great ideas.
Yeah, you know, Dr. Ekuru Aukot is a good person, because you remember he was the chairperson of the committee of experts, so the persons who orchestrated the drafting of the 2010 constitution, which we are having now. He was the one who led that committee, so he has quite a good knowledge with reference to some sections of the constitution in which the layman
yes,
may not be able to understand.
True.
So for him to come up with this bill, maybe he saw some of the limitations, because when you remember the Kriegler, when he gave us, he told us that when we were promulgating this constitution, he told us that it was still a bit premature for us to be able to fully adapt this constitution. So there were some limitations, which he told us as time goes, we'll be able to see them. And maybe that's now that we are seeing this limitation. That's why we're having this proposed amendments, because we have the Punguza Mzigo bill, and we are also seeing the BBI, the Building Bridges Initiative bill. Yeah.
Issue the introduction of 1 7-year presidency term, and he claims it's going to save Kenyans 20 billion shillings. What is your take on that?
It is going to save Kenyans 20 billion shillings, but
yes,
it's going to cost Kenyans.
Why?
7
How?
years.
How exactly?
One thing, you know, when you bring one-term presidency, one thing for sure is that president, the person, let me look at it in a political perspective.
Yes.
The person will not have that pressure of saying, okay, if I deliver or not, whether or not I deliver or not, I'll not be voted again for a second term. So he will not have the pressure of wanting to deliver in his first term, so that he'll be voted again, so as to continue the work he started in the second term. So by bringing a one-term presidency, politically it's a very, very bad move.
All right. Because
assuming, for example, the Jubilee government, assuming they were only there for one term, they will not have the pressure of wanting to deliver. Those person will only be there saying, I'm only here for one term and I'm gone. So whether I deliver or not, it's none of my business, because at the end of the day, after 7 years, I'll be out. So personally, I'm against that particular one-term. Yes, you know, one-term presidency. Tenure. I'm against it fully. I don't support it. Yeah.
Do let us know what exactly you think about this one-term 7-year presidency on the comments below. Now, we also understand that he's claiming that we should reduce the positions of members of parliament from 416 that we have to 147. I think this is a great move, because I think personally we are overrepresented as Kenyans.
We are overrepresented.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I think you need a handshake.
We
are overrepresented. We are in
yes, we are overrepresented, but
yes,
the Punguza Mzigo bill brings us to be underrepresented.
Why?
Because as per the bill, it says he's going to reduce the members to 147. That is 47 for the Senate and 100 for the National Assembly. And he has gone further to explain how the 100 figures will be achieved. Because he has said that for the National Assembly, once they make the constituency, the counties are one single constituency whereby we'll have members of parliament representing the counties.
Yes.
So he said that we'll have 47. So that means we have 47 counties. So we'll have 47 members of parliament. So he said that each county will bring two persons, a female and a male.
And that will solve the inequality issue that we've had for years.
Exactly.
And I think that is a bold
It will not solve.
idea.
It will not solve.
It will solve.
So it means 47 gents, 47 ladies. That's a total of how many? 94 members.
Yes.
So I don't know where the 6 members will come from. Because he said the National Assembly will have 10 members. I don't know where the 6 will come from. Because in the same bill, Ekuru Aukot has mentioned the issue of the revocation of nomination in the National Assembly. So I don't know where these 6 members will come from. But still, on that, that particular provision by itself contravenes the Constitution, Articles 81 subsection D and Articles 89 subsection 5, which touches on on the representation of Kenyans in both the houses, and also the fair representation. Because you understand, for instance, in Kiambu County, we can take Kiambu and Nairobi counties. They are one of the most populated counties. Because in Nairobi you have around 3 million people, and Kiambu you have around 1.2 or 1.5 million. Okay, that's an approximation. So assumably in Kiambu you have 1.5 million people, Kiambu County. So we can look at another county, a very small county. Which one? For instance, Lamu County. Lamu County has around 100,000 people. So as far Ekuru Aukot wants to tell us that Kiambu County will have 2 representatives in the National Assembly, 2 members of parliament. Lamu County will also have 2 members of parliament.
But I think
seriously, there will be no fair representation.
Maybe to cut you short, I think what exactly Ekuru Aukot is bringing on the table is something that we can buy. Personally, it's something I can buy. Because if we talk of the representation that you're talking about, the Nairobi County having so many people, and Kiambu County so many, but Lamu having fewer people, we can come and discuss. We can come to a table and discuss that maybe Kiambu County, we can reduce the number of constituencies that make up this county and come up with another county. We could have 50 counties in the nation, or 52 or 53 or whatever, but at the end of the day we have good representation. Because I wouldn't want us to get to a position that, Kenyans, just the other day there was a conference somewhere outside the country, and the delegates that were sent by our country, given that we are a third world country, goodness gracious, we sent 80, but other countries that are first world countries sent 2 representatives.
Okay, let me problem with Kenyans
We are wasting resources.
The problems that we are having is that we are creating solutions. We are solving a problem only to create another problem. Ekuru Aukot is looking at solving the gender equality problem, but in the same time he's creating another problem of representation.
And believe you me, Rehab, first, if we have 100 members from the National Assembly, the 47 ladies and 47 gents. In the Senate, we'll have 47 members. The Senate, it is not stated whether it will be gents or ladies. So which means we might have gender equality in the National Assembly, but in the Senate we end up getting 47 male senators. We will not have solved this particular problem. So we will only have.
But the provision of the Constitution is 2/3.
Exactly,
that
2/3.
means we get from
2/3.
every county. If
So
we get
exactly,
we get a lady and a gent. That means we are
in the National Assembly.
somewhere.
In the National Assembly.
Yes, exactly.
In the Senate, what will happen in the Senate? Ekuru Aukot has, in the same bill, he has said there will be no nominations.
Yes.
No nominations.
No nominations.
So assuming a situation whereby in the Senate we have 47 elected senators who are all gents, what will happen?
Okay, it will be an issue partly.
What will happen?
But again, I think we are learned individuals.
Exactly.
Kenya has lots of learned individuals, and we can be able. I would love Kenyans to embrace the idea of, it's not about who brought up the idea, but is the idea viable? Is this something we can buy? Are there parts of this particular bill we can be able to bring in? And if we are going for a referendum, we may not buy the entire thing, because it is true, it has some loopholes. Yes, it has. But can we take some parts and then bring other parts?
That's
so that
why
we can come up with something that is.
That's why in the constitutional making process,
Yes.
there's the part of collection of public views. Okuru Okot didn't do that. He drafted the bill, went and collected signatures,
Yes.
brought the bill and took it to the county assemblies.
Yes.
He never involved the people.
What about the signatures?
The signatures.
Yeah, the signatures. A million people get signatures.
You remember in 2003 while we were having an amendment for the 2005 amendments, the WACO draft. Do you know why it was brought down? It failed miserably in 2005. It is because the WACO draft was a draft which did not involve the views of the people. It was just a draft which was brought. Say the Attorney General then come and draft this. Let's take it to the people for them to decide. It was brought down. Why? Because the people are not involved. Now, Kuru Okot, he came up with a bill, a very good bill, because some parts they are very good. But now the people who are not involved in drafting of this bill. For instance, you'll allow me to use for the example of BBI, the Building Bridges Initiative. We understand that the people of
Okay, just a minute. I don't want us to go there because we are going to come back
yes,
again
I know,
here
I
next
know,
week
I know.
and discuss about the BBI.
No, I'm not discussing about the BBI. I'm only discussing about the criteria they used. The BBI, they have engaged the people. They're going around the counties to collect the views of the people so that they may come up with a draft, a final draft. But the Kuru Okot did not do that. He only came up with a draft himself and told us Kenyans, this is the draft. Let's pass it. You know, another problem we have been having as a nation, whereby we allow the politicians to be the ones orchestrating the ideas for us.
Yes.
They bring us, they want to Tombia, this is the way to go,
Yes.
and we follow.
Yes.
But it's about time we change how we are going to.
But I think at the end of the day, we gave these people jobs.
Yes, we do.
I went to vote. I gave somebody a job.
You did not vote for Kuru Okot
Shut
because
up.
it's
Alright,
not
alright. Agreed. But then again, we voted these people in
Yeah.
to represent us.
Exactly.
So I think when they come up with ideas that we can buy, ideas that we can relate with, there are things we can buy. Now, before we discuss more, there's this idea that Ekuru has brought in, that every Kenyan at the age of 18 and has an ID shall be deemed as a registered voter for purposes of elections and referendum. And this will save Kenyans and IBC billions.
Yes.
It will save Kenyans and IBC billions,
Yes.
but it will even increase further the issue of election malpractices.
All right. Why?
Because we understand that the issue of voter registration is something that gives us the exact number of how many people are we having, how many people are there, how many people are valid to vote.
What makes it
When you
valid?
tell me that when someone gets an ID, an 18-year-old person gets an ID and he qualifies to be a registered voter, even someone who died 10 years ago can still vote because his ID is still there. You remember the issue we had in 2007,
Okay.
whereby we had dead voters coming to vote in Kiambu.
Alright.
We had dead voters coming to come in some parts of Central Province.
Okay.
That is why the issue of voter registration was brought in the new constitution, so that we may know how many people are still there, how many still are still alive. Because we cannot have a situation whereby we are just saying 18 years vote. We'll have a situation whereby we are having over 25 million voters, but only 20 million are alive. The 5 million are dead, but they'll vote for someone come elections. So I'm against that particular part, very, very against it, because it will take us back to what we're trying to solve. We are trying to solve the election. If you remember, after the 2017 elections, we had some issues,
Yes.
and we said as a nation, if you're going to move forward, you must first solve the issue of election malpractices, the issue of election whereby after every election there's a petition, after every election there's an issue. We should solve that so that in the future,
Yes.
when there's an election,
Yes.
when the loser loses, he says, I've lost fairly. So when you bring up the issue of 18 years stuff, you will continue telling us that after every election we'll be having an issue. We'll be having tear gas. We'll be having demonstration of every election when this particular thing passes.
Okay, let us take a very short break, and then when we come back, we're going to discuss about the issue of corruption that has been talked by Ekuru Okot, and it's something I am really buying and really embracing. Then we are also going to see what exactly, how much amount goes to the executive in the from the budget that we have in 2019. Don't go too far. Stay with me and keep commenting on the comments panel down below. Alright, thank you so much for staying with us. Keep commenting down here, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Now, We said we are coming back to talk about corruption, and there's something interesting about the Punguza Mzigo Bill 2019. I'm going to make sure you get to understand these kind of things. It says, by severely punishing thieves of public money, we save at least 3.5 trillion Kenyan shillings. And severely punishing. And the severely punishment we're talking about, imposing a life sentence for culprits convicted of corruption and theft of public funds. And there is no presidential pardon or amnesty for these particular cases. What do you think?
I support that. Unfortunately, I have to support that.
You support that? Another handshake.
Because okay,
Yes.
because as a country,
Yes.
corruption has been a great problem.
Yes,
It
a
has been
great one,
great
actually.
disease that
Yes.
it has been hitting on us since way back the past two eras, the Moi era, the Kibaki era,
Yes.
now the Uhuru era. It's been a great issue, and most important thing is that it has been involving the public servants
Yes.
and the leaders. And we have seen that, for instance, someone who has been mentioned to have been involved in a corruption scandal, maybe going up to 500 million, but he's given he's released on bond of 1
Imagine.
million or 5 million. So
How
at
sad.
least,
Yes.
but now the limitation of this particular provision is that Dr. Okuta went further and said that in cases of corruption, that the Auditor General's report should be used as evidence in court. My dear, court, I was really disappointed when I read that particular part, and I thought at first when I saw it, I thought it was just a public PR. Whereby, but
Now,
when
yes.
I went back to the bill and saw that indeed it was in the bill where Dr. Okot mentioned that the Auditor General's report should be used as evidence in court. My dear, Auditor General only brings out question that maybe when he was doing the audit he did not find answers to, and that's why we have Parliament, whereby once the Auditor Generals bring the questions, it's taken to Parliament to a committee. Then the committee will summon, if it's a governor, if it's a cabinet secretary, summon him and ask him these questions. Tell them that the Auditor General said this and this and this, did not see it. What happened? Then the governor can say maybe the office ilichomwa, maybe this and this happened, that's why that file was missing. But the file is here. So when Okot tells us that we should use those questions as evidence in court, it goes against the constitution.
But I think number one, we are in agreement that we should impose a life sentence
Yeah, we
on
should.
these corrupt
We should.
individuals.
In fact, it should be corruption should be declared as a national disaster. It should not only be declared a national disaster by words, but by actions as well.
Exactly.
Whereby, if this happens, that these people are involved in corruption scandal first, which it says that there are chapter 6 of the Constitution which talks about leadership integrity, whereby a person who has been mentioned, has been mentioned to have participated or involved in corruption,
Yes.
the person should vacate office with immediate effect.
And I think I love what exactly that particular provision. Come to think of what Waititu did, or whatever happened with Waititu.
You know, yeah, Waititu was denied access to office, but he was not removed as the governor.
Yes.
And as a governor, I don't need an office to do
But the
activities.
question is, what has the Constitution said?
The Constitution does not give the court any powers to remove a governor from office on grounds of corruption.
But it says
The Constitution does not
found-
also
Yes.
say that when you are mentioning corruption, you should be removed from office. The Constitution has remained dumb in that. That's why you still have Waititu in office,
Yes.
because the Constitution has remained silent.
Yes.
So if in a referendum we can bring some clauses which says that, for example, if you are mentioned in corruption scandal, you should leave office with immediate effect.
Exactly.
Yes. So those are some of the things that Okot should have involved in
Yes,
this
yes.
particular bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
also
I
love-
hope BBI will involve.
Yes, I also love the idea of corruption and theft and public resources cases to be tried within 30 days.
Yeah.
This will solve a lot of justice issues na kuvutana sana, especially in court
because
cases.
they always say justice delayed is justice denied.
Exactly. It
Because
always,
we have
always has.
a corruption case, maybe something which happened some 20 years ago,
Yeah,
it's still in
yeah.
court up to today.
Yeah.
So if we make it the corruption issue like the one for election petitions, whereby
Yes.
we know that a presidential election petition should only last within 30 days.
Yes.
Then no, it should be appealed within 14 days.
Yes.
7
Yes.
days. Then 7 days, then 14 days, which
Yes.
is 30 days.
Yes.
So we should also make that corruption to be like that, so that we may have quick work. When someone is mentioned corruption, 30 days, the cause is solved. If he appeals, 15 days, the appeal is solved. If he's found guilty, he returns the money, or go to jail.
Now,
That's it.
abolishing the position of the deputy governor. What's your take?
I'm against that.
Why?
Ekuru of course states that by abolishing the deputy of the government of the governor, and then he went forward and says in case the governor's office is remains vacant,
We go for a
we
by-election.
go for a by-election.
Yes.
That's imposing another the taxpayers' money, wastage of taxpayers' money.
Yeah, it is.
Because we are,
But-
if you're going back to elections, it means the entire executive will go home. Because the same clause which talks about the vacancy of the deputy governor's of the governor's office is the same clause which talks about the vacancy in the president's office. So what I'm trying to tell us that if, for instance, if a president dies or what, we should go back to elections and do another election and waste another billions of money in acquiring those gadgets and stuff. So what I want to say, okay, we can't stay without a deputy governor, and that's why the constitution says a deputy governor should be elected together with the governor.
Nairobi County, do they have a deputy governor right now?
They don't have a deputy governor, but
But
they
they're
have a
doing
governor.
well. I
They
think
are
they're doing very well. Without a deputy governor, they're doing so
They're
well.
not doing so
I think
well.
we should.
But for now, we can't stay without deputy governors. It's like saying you can stay without deputy president. Can you stay without a deputy president? Because even
We need
okay,
one.
the court is not saying we should abolish the deputy governor's position. He's saying that the deputy governor, the governor should appoint one of the CECs to act in the position of a deputy governor. So what is he trying to say? He knows very well we cannot survive without a deputy governor. That's why he's saying someone else should be appointed to
maybe-
play that role. So you just imagine a CEC, he has a role to play as a cabinet secretary of the county government. Then you impose another work load on him, saying that he should act as the deputy governor. Because we understand, in the absentia of the governor, the deputy governor takes over all the roles of the governor. So you want to tell me a CEC, when the governor is away, it will mean that particular CEC will stop doing his work as a cabinet secretary and start doing the governor's job, which it will create a gap in that particular ministry.
Yes.
So that's a limitation on that particular part. We can't stay without a deputy governor, the same way we can't stay without a deputy president.
I think we can stay without a deputy governor. But again,
Okay.
CDF.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's another clause which I tend to agree with, because we have had cases maybe some CDF funds have not been well catered for by our members of parliament. So when we take it back, when we take it down from the constituencies to the ward, to the MCAs, those who are very close to the people, because you understand the MCAs, they're the ones who are in the county government, so they're the ones who understand well the needs of the people from down there. So if you bring it from the constituency and put it to the ward, it will really be so good. So I support that particular part.
All right. Now, the total budget this year was 3.02 trillion.
Yes.
2.45 trillion goes to three arms of the government.
Yes.
How much is left for us to use?
1.84 trillion,
Yes.
which has been allocated to the executive. The executive takes this money and distributes it to the county government as it is stipulated in the constitution. 15% of the revenue allocated to the executive goes to the county government. So the 2.4, the 1.84 trillion,
Yes, that
which
goes to
has
the
been
executive,
to the
yes.
executive, it comprises of both the national government and the county government. So that's more than enough to enable us to improve the nation. Only that now, when you look also into the in the Punguza Mzigo bill, the part which says that the money allocated to the county government should be improved from 15% to, is it that 5%? I think so.
Yes.
That's what the 5%, yeah. So that part is also good, because we have seen the county government, the money which has been allocated to the county government has not been enough. And so the governments have not been able to fully deliver. So that's why now you're having an issue now, the crisis between the national government and the county government. Because the governors are demanding for more money, and the national government says we don't have more money. So if we have a clear provision of the constitution says that this particular percentage should go to the counties, then we will not be having this whole issue.
All right. I want us to come back. When we come back, you will tell us what particular parts are you for in the Punguza Mzigo bill, because I would want us to reach as a nation at a position where we are able to say that we can buy this idea, we can combine this idea with this other idea just to make our nation better. So in this session, I'm going to show you some of the comments or opinions of other Kenyans, what exactly they think or what exactly they understand about the Punguza Mzigo bill. Then we come back, we do a close do keep commenting down here.
Okay, for me, I support the bill because Kenyans are heavy ridden by taxes, and then even what they have been taxed for has not actually, we have not seen the fruit of it, because we are still lagging behind in terms of development and any poor loads. We have so many Kenyans who are still having problem with electricity and such. So as much as we thought that the county government would come and help us, it hasn't helped us. So Kenyans still showed a lot of burden. They are overburdened. Those who are in issues about taxation, Kenyans are highly taxed. Everything you do, including the withdrawals, they have increased in terms of taxation. So to me, I support the bill.
And lastly, the issue of jailing, life imprisonment for those who will be caught in corruption scandals. What is your take? Do you think it's going to solve the issue of impunity and corruption in Kenya?
Yeah, it will. It will, because now they are committing economic crime. Then we must take drastic action. So if you want now a change, then automatically we need now to take drastic action, because to arrest the dragon of corruption, then let's put those people who are caught in committing economic crime in life for life. Because at the end of the day, other Kenyans will also learn to do away with those particular practices.
Naitwa Emma. About punguza mzigo. Yes, na support sana.
Ni part gani sana inakufurahisha?
Tunataka kutoa watu ambao ni nominated, they are doing nothing. Yeah, hiyo ni sort tu walitafuta tu kupatia mabesti. Na pia ikiwezekana hata hao ma women rep hatuoni kazi yao, hata hatuwajui wengine, hata tunachagua tu. At least kila na wabunge pia wapunguzwe. Kupunguza mzigo, zile vitu ziko hapo naona zote ziko relevant.
Wanasema watafunga for life wale watashikwa in corruption.
Wanastahili kuhangiwa. At least inaweza kuwa a good example.
So the punguza mzigo bill, you've heard of it?
Yes.
Do you support it?
Of course.
What part do you support? The part gani imekufurahisha sana?
Especially to reduce the number of MPs. It can help Kenyans. Like I'm a student at Mount Kenya University at the moment. I can say that Kenyans are really suffering. They are paying a lot, and there is the high wage bill. So if it can be reduced, the better, because taxpayers are really suffering.
Yes. Do you think we are overrepresented?
Of course.
All right.
Okay, the punguza mzigo bill, as it is coming, of course it is a good bill for Kenyans, because right now, when we look at the GDP and the money which we spend in infrastructure, you find the money which we are spending in paying the servant workers is very big. So it is a good bill, but on the other side of the coin, you see it will not go through, because it is going through the opposition of the government and through the handshake initiative, I think.
So the punguza mzigo bill, have you heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it.
So do you support it?
I've not understood what is it about. So I don't know if I support. I don't know.
Kuna mahali they are proposing that people who will be caught in corruption should be imprisoned for life. What is your take?
People caught in corruption?
Yes.
Yeah.
The public servants.
They be imprisoned for life?
Yes.
I think I would support that, because they are bringing our country back.
Absolutely, I know about it. And the big thing about it on my side is perhaps it's going to reduce the burden on Kenyans. And especially when it comes to taxes. Because I know those people, like our MPs and even our MCAs and even our governors, they take our salaries from what we pay them. So by reducing that, perhaps it's going to ease the burden that we have. So to me, I think it's a plus, and I think it's a policy that all Kenyans should embrace and look forward to it being executed in our nation.
All right.
Yeah.
The 1 year 7 term for president, is it something you buy?
Yes, of course, yes. Because if a person or if a president is given 7 years only, I think he is going to be more focused. He will have enough time to deliver on his mandate, and perhaps he knows that he has no other time to deliver on Kenya. So he will be focused right from the word go.
Now, as you've heard, those are some of the views of some members of the public here at Mount Kenya University, even as we hope to see the direction this particular bill is going to take in our nation today and even in the days that are coming. Now, as you have seen the comments and the opinions of some members of the country, now, Kofi,
Yeah.
what parts do you think are worth going for a referendum in Punguza Mzigo bill?
Punguza Mzigo bill does not want to go to any referendum. Punguza Mzigo, in fact, it's not a bill. It should not be taken as a bill because the contents in this particular, let me call notes, they're just views. They are views of a person, which should just be taken some parts of it and they be incorporated into
But
a real bill.
he has 1 million plus signatures.
He has 1 million plus
Yes.
signatures, which is very much attainable because it's just nowadays we are a bit digitalized. Because how I understand it is that they are doing an online stuff whereby they post this bill, then you go there, you sign the petition, and then that's very easy to get 1 million signatures. We're signing a petition online. So they do not have unwritten signatures, and I was very much surprised how ABC approved that. But anyway, that's a talk about another day.
Yes.
So the Punguza Mzigo bill, it is not worth it to be a bill.
But there are some parts you buy.
Yeah, there's some parts.
Give us the
That's
parts.
where I'm going.
Yes.
So there's some parts which should be taken as the views of Dr. Ikulu quote, and it be incorporated in a real bill in the name of Building Bridges Initiative, BBI. So some of the parts, one of them is the issue of CDF. That part I take it. One of bringing it from constituency level to ward level. The second part is the issue of corruption. Making corruption a national. Those people who have been involved in corruption, they be taken in. Is it life sentence?
Yes.
Yes, and
life
without
sentence.
amnesty or whatsoever.
Yes, from the president.
Yeah,
no pardon.
that particular part.
Yes.
And I would love that part to be added some content saying that once a person is that's chapter 6 of the Constitution
Yes.
to be reviewed, whereby when a person is mentioned in corruption scandals or
Yes.
having involved in anything that is related to corruption,
Yes.
it should remove office with immediate effect.
All right.
So those are the only two parts which I buy in this particular bill. The rest they are not worth it to go for a referendum. And in fact, in case,
Yes.
you know, sometimes we say that the constitution is very unfair because now if the MCAs pass this particular bill and it goes through the 24 counties, it will means we will go to a referendum because one thing I'm very sure of, and I can tell you that for a fact, the National Assembly of Kenya will not pass this particular bill, and the constitution is very clear. In case the National Assembly does not pass it, it will have to go to a referendum. So if this thing goes past the county assembly, then as a nation we will be in a great disaster. We will be in a great problem. And I really hope that the Punguza Mzigo bill will not go past the county assemblies. Let us allow the real thing, the BBI, the Building Bridges Initiative, which comprises of the views of people, including Dr. Ikulu Quote's views, in the name of CDF and corruption, life sentence. Those two views should be taken and included in the BBI initiative, and we'll now be thinking of a referendum as a nation.
All right. Now those are the views of the one and Kofi Brian. Do let me know what exactly you think about the Punguza Mzigo bill, and again, what other bills do you want us to bring to the table and discuss about? Do that on the comment panel. All right. With that said, give us your final take.
Okay, I hope Dr. Ikulu Quote is there also watching. So what I can say, Kenyans, we have come a long way since 2010, since we promulgated this constitution. It's been a journey. We have seen some of the limitations with this constitution. We have seen some of the advantages with this constitution, and it's about time we air out the limitations that Dr. Kriegler told us we will witness once we get used to this constitution. And I believe the Building Bridges initiative, which has been going around the country, and now they are finished over 42 counties, and we believe the remaining 5 counties will be finished in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then we'll have this bill. So I believe our views will be greatly involved in the drafting of this particular bill, and as a nation we should be thinking of bringing solutions to solve solutions, not bringing solutions to create another solutions like the one which is being created now by the Punguza Gunia initiative. So what I can say is that let us stay focused, let us hope for the best from BBI, because we hope for the best in the handshake, and we should support the handshake fully in as far as bringing our nation together, in as far as ensuring that as a nation we move forward and bring an end to the issue of corruption, the issue of ethnicity, the issue of division in our country.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
Now, those are the views of one and only Kofi Brian. Do let me know what exactly you think about the Punguza Mzigo bill. And again, on the comments panel down below. And again, what exactly do you think we should bring to the table and discuss about? Many thanks to you for watching. And remember to subscribe, hit the notification panel, like and share with your friends to also understand what exactly this bill contains and talks about. And again, many thanks to my production team. It's always a joy. I love you so much. Till we meet next time, it's a goodbye from me.